All right, people, we are going live. So if you need a break, if you just need to calm yourself, you're in the right spot because that's exactly what I need right now, too. Welcome to Folding with Friends, where we help each other to stay calm. Making up a song. Okay. So glad you're here. Thank you for scrolling on by, and we hope that you'll stay for a few minutes. We're going to do some laundry, and maybe you have some things that you want to get done too. So we'd love to be here as accountability partners with you. We're here every single week around 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Today, our three kids were making that challenging, but we are here. And like I always say, if we're showing up for ourselves, that's half the battle. So just want to encourage all of you to keep showing up for yourselves. And I didn't drink enough water today. How about everyone else? If you're wanting to support another person with ADHD, give it a thumbs up, share it, invite somebody. Oh, This Neurodivergent Life. What a great name. Welcome. For those of you who this is your first time on Folding with Friends, can you just give a number 1 emoji? Let me know. Mersad. Yeah, never enough water, for sure. Synapt Coaching in the house. Share. Pastor Charles. Welcome, everybody. We're going to have a special guest on tonight who I'm so excited to introduce you to. And that's happening momentarily. In the meantime, I've set the time timer for 1 hour. And we're going to do our darndest to get it done by then. Oh my goodness, Avery Sanchez Bonilla in the house. One Crazy Cookie 7, welcome. Hey, let us know, where are you tuning in from? I know we have somebody from Kentucky, we got somebody from Ohio. Where is everyone else tuning in from? And if you identify as neurodivergent, put a brain emoji in there so that everyone else who also is on that team can know that they're not alone. Where did I put my blue blockers? I'm going to grab my other backup pair because that's important. Okay, I actually think I remember where my other ones are. I'm going to look in a second. What's up, Bren? Hey, Kathleen. Kathy Nichols is here. Lori's here. Avery and her brain are here. And there he is. We have overcome the technology and the timing challenges, and we've made it. And normally you're the one wearing glasses, Coach Ron.
I know. Well, I got them here.
Yeah. I always enjoy folding with friends because it's just authentically, I mean, we're airing our clean laundry on the show. And for everyone else, just a little behind the scenes, my beautiful neurotypical wife, Andrea, and I are the parents of 3 kiddos. At least one of them is neurodivergent. And we were having, I don't want to call it a battle royale. It was more of like a standoff upstairs. So it's like, it was kind of a stalemate because he's like, Dad, just let me get out of my room. I'll stay calm. I'm like, you know the rules. It's bedtime. It's supposed to stay there. And so I just stayed calm by the door. And he kept like trying to like run past me. I'm like, Mom asked you to stay here. You got to stay here. And I have to stay here to keep you and everyone else safe. He's like, ah, and like tries to like throw stuff at me. So I just really appreciate Ron's patience and understanding. Being a dad yourself, you know that sometimes kids just don't always want to do what we ask right away.
Yeah, and I've got 2 boys, 11 and now just turned 13, and I definitely went through that because they are diagnosed ADHD.
You say both of them are?
Both of them, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I was just talking to somebody about this last week that I feel like having challenges like this. Oh, cutting off my own head. Having challenges like this, I feel like with us being neurodivergent ourselves, but also acquiring all the knowledge through our coaching and just life experience, that we are uniquely equipped to help our kids, you know?
Yeah. I call it the clash of the neurodivergence in the house.
Wow. I love that. And real quick, I want to call out Avery. Thank you, Avery. I receive your compliment. She says, for those who can't see it, I'm proud of your patience and calm. I'm actually pretty proud of it too. Because it would, when your child is, hurling books and toys at you, it's, I can't say I'm always that calm. I'll put it that way.
Externally, at least. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Coach Ron, I was just thinking about it, and it's almost our 1-year friend-iversary.
It is in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I get to see you in Austin.
I know it. IRL, as they say, in real life. Yeah. So maybe you can tell the origin story, and then we want to hear about, tell the origin story of our friendship, and then we want to hear more about you so that our audience can get to know Coach Ron.
Yeah. Let's see. I signed up out of pure whim for a conference called Neurodiversion in Austin, Texas last year, at the end of March. And I'm going to tell you, I've never gone to a conference without a buddy. So that was the first time without a buddy. And so I had to force myself to break out of the comfort zone and truly network without a buffer. And so I wound up meeting a few mutual friends.
Yes.
And they introduced me to you. And right before, actually, I'm giving away part of the story, but you had spoke at the conference.
Yeah.
And immediately, I remember I was a newbie coach, only been doing it for a couple months. And I went up to you afterwards. I'm like, as a new coach, what advice or recommendations do you have for me? Because I was just, spinning in this new world.
Yeah.
And the first thing you said to me, and I'll never forget it, was like, do you want a mentor? Because I can be a mentor.
Wow. I love past me's spontaneity. Because that's awesome.
Yeah, it was like, that was the first thing that came out. It was just so generous and you know, that quote, you never forget what people say, but you'll always remember how to make them feel, or whatever, from Maya Angelou. And that was a moment where I'll never forget.
Oh, man, that's cool. Good for me. Good for us. I forgot that. I remember that I offered that at some point, but I thought it was later on when Ron and I shared an Uber to the airport after pulling an all-nighter the last day of the conference. Just like, can you get any more ADHD? I don't think you can.
Yeah, so we went out. We had a couple dinner together.
Yeah,
and then the conference was over, and we had to go back to our own places. And I remember texting you and just be like, "What are you doing?" Because if I fall asleep, I'm not going to wake up for my flight. And you're like, same. And so we just I don't know. What did we talk?
Well, I said, why don't you come over to my place, because my roommates aren't even home yet. They're still out. Like,
I mean, we're still partying.
Out partying because they weren't leaving as early as we were. We were leaving at some ungodly early hour. And so I just said, why don't you just come over here? You can hang out. Because I want to say you said something to me like, yeah, I'm currently pacing back and forth in my room, trying to keep myself awake. I'm like, okay, you sound like a psychopath. Why don't you just come over here and we'll hang out? I
forgot about that.
I, of course, was still packing. So Ron came over, and then we had Ari Scott, Chris Wang from Shimmer, Jesse J. Anderson. If you may follow all these people if you're watching. If you don't already, you should look them up. Jesse Sorensen, who is a movie producer. It was just like this amazing group of humans. So I was so excited to introduce Ron anyways.
It was wonderful to get to know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just such a great. So anyway, neurodiversion, and what a memorable time. And I remember us having some really good discussions at the airport. And then at some point I was like, Ron, I'm gonna be honest, I can't even really think straight, and I'm about to spontaneously pass out.
Yeah. Well, I remember walking to the airport, and we got accosted in a very nice way by a friend of yours, Diane.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Which is how I met Diane.
Oh my gosh.
And we have hit it off online since. She's wonderful.
That's hilarious, because I don't think I have talked to Diane since. And we were besties at the conference. I'll have to. Do you know if she's going again this year?
She's not going. I told her that I'm mad at her for not going.
Yeah. Hey, next time you talk to her, tell her I'm mad too.
Yeah, I will. I'm actually seeing her on Friday.
Oh my gosh, wait, do you guys live close to each other?
No, we're gonna coffee chat on Zoom. But...
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
No, she's in California, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I was like, wait, what? And so we met at Neurodiversion. We're gonna hang out again. Okay. And shout out to our family. Ron generously, and the rest of the crew kind of adopted me in when one of their family members, this is a made up family, but when you meet other neurodiverse folks, you are already family. And they invited me right in, and because one of the other family members had to leave the conference early. But yeah, the rest is history.
We had that was a great dinner.
That's speaking of things you remember. I'll just never forget that dinner and that conversation. It was just so.
It's a wild conversation. Yes.
Yeah, so engaging, and I was so fired up after it in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we were probably pacing, or I was pacing.
Right. Okay, so that's our friendiversary origin story. So how about just let our audience know a little bit more about you?
Yeah. So what do I say about me? I am dual diagnosis ADHD and ASD. Mm-hmm. I got late diagnosed as ADHD in my mid-20s, which I feel like I kind of all knew, but family didn't really think it was a thing.
Yeah,
and so I got my official diagnosis in my mid-20s, and then when COVID hit, I went back to my psychiatrist and back on meds and trying to really, get my mental health back on track, like many of us. And wound up getting my diagnosis of ASD then, which completely shocked me because I went into I'm going to prove the doctor wrong scenario.
Yeah.
You were not right. Now I'm going to prove all the reasons why. And then it just kind of opened my world to what was going on.
I'm really curious, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that too. So in case anyone is not aware, ASD, autism spectrum disorder. So we're talking about autism. What was it? Did your doctor notice something, or were you bringing up like a challenge you were having? Like, I'm just curious how that even got on the radar.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact conversation we were having, but I remember what he said to me during the conversation, which was, I don't know if you're ready for the truth yet. And that's like thing if you know my personality, I'm like a throw the kitchen sink at the problem person. Like I go all in, right? Like there's no half-assing. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm
bring it.
And then I tried to justify almost the rest of our time of why that couldn't be true.
Wow.
So at that point, it was not an official diagnosis. It was very much I think you should go and get.
Yeah, like explore this kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
And so I went around. I could not find a place locally for me to do it that wasn't just for children. Yeah. And I think it took me a little while to talk to my father about it. And I was like, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is what the doctor said could potentially be on the table. And I'll never forget it. He told me, he's like, you got that diagnosis at 3.
What?
And he didn't believe it.
Okay.
And so I was in my whole world. You go through that grief of like who you could have been. It was totally one of those cracked situations where it was like mind blown.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mind blowing. Like, wait a minute, what?
How come you couldn't say this earlier?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So when between finding that self-discovery rabbit hole and starting to do some advocacy and then taking a coaching certification, it just I bridged those two worlds, and this is where I'm at. Like I love doing coaching of our fellow neurodivergent friends, and I really try to specialize in the unmasking part, where finding the authentic self, like really digging apart who our identity is and not who we think it is or who we think we should be, which I absolutely love to watch the type of burnout wash off of people.
Wow. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm still curious about the autism side, just because I don't have that lived experience. So would you be open to sharing a little bit around like, how does that enter into your everyday?
Yeah. How does that? I mean, it's hard to pick apart myself for a moment. Yeah.
Right.
I think hindsight being 2020, I think every autistic person that I am aware of has a sock story, which I didn't realize.
Okay.
My sock story.
Here I am as I'm putting my socks in my drawer.
I thought it was appropriate for the
history. Perfect. Yes. No, it's great.
So as a kid, my parents would buy us socks, and we did not grow up with a lot of money. And so when I was a kid, they had the cheap socks had the seam kind of at the nail.
Yes.
Right? So it ran across this way. And I just remember like crying, and just like the sensation was awful. I remember having problems with my tags and clothes.
Yes.
Like I would just shut down, cry. I went a year being nonverbal, didn't really know, like I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I went a year being nonverbal.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was at like, what age was that?
This was around 4 or 5 is what I was told.
Yeah. Okay.
And I remember being a really shy kid, but I don't really remember like being nonverbal, but I have had family members who have confirmed the story now.
Yeah.
So like looking backwards, those are kind of the big telltale signs for me. I think it shows up in so I really annoy my team sometimes, and how I process information as far as I go in and let's say we are bringing a new platform in under our company.
Yeah.
And I have to like play with it. I've got to live in it. Like I got to
Yes.
build it and break it before I will even use it. And then my team will tell me like, we're concerned that you did all this work and now we're going to have to undo it or whatever. And I'm like, no, this is just me experiment. I need to live in this situation.
Yes.
I can't just decide this is the way we're going to do it.
I love that. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think living inside of experiences, I don't know if you can tell, like I love my books are all categorized by color. I love a good categorization, almost to a default where it gets chaotic organization.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, this is, it doesn't look like you are folding at the moment, but does this find its way into your laundry? Like do you need things to be like folded a certain way? Or?
I have learned not to fold my laundry. And so I hang everything up. Everything goes on a hanger.
Love that. Okay.
Like if I could take you into my closet, I would, but everything goes on a hanger. It is all color coordinated. All the shirts are color coordinated, just like the books. Like that's how I find my clothes.
I love that. And it'd be funny because I'd be like, so how does ASD show up in your life? And you're like, 1 second, please. And you like bring the phone, you're like, here it is. And it's like your closet's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I still have like the ADHD part where I'm like, if I showed you my desk right now, it's absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Chaotic. But there's certain structures that I need to I need to have. Like my tools in my toolbox are pristinely organized.
I love that. Cool. It's funny you mentioned about the desk because I work with a couple of folks virtually, my virtual team, and I told we've worked together to build a checklist for like my daily, like I call it the startup stack. So it's like all the things that to get myself build up enough momentum to get my day started. And one of the things we do is like a desk check. So she'll ask like, Coach, how are we doing on the desk? And I'm like, yep, we're going to need to set a timer. I just need to do a quick power clean here because it's out of control. I want to call attention to my good friend and we call each other brother and sister, but Avery, who is on right now, and she had asked the question earlier, so I want to make sure I bring attention back to it. She had asked for your ASD diagnosis. Once you did find a place, she was asking how long that took.
I never went for an additional professional diagnosis.
Okay.
3. So I just left that as it was.
Got it. Okay. So and I'm glad we got the clarification because I guess I didn't realize. So then when your dad said, yeah, you got that diagnosis when you were 3, that was enough confirmation for you to be like, okay, got it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say this with probably a lot of privilege, like in the fact that I've got probably low support needs at this point. It wasn't going to make a big difference for me to chase another diagnosis and trying to get the energy to call a bunch of psychiatrists and find it. I did at one point, and it was just, it was devastating not to figure it out 5 years ago. And then just to go down that whole emotional toll again, I didn't feel like it was worth it for me.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
All right.
To have 2 doctors tell me, that's what they're considering. I think that was enough for me.
Yep. I got you. So now with you, I think one thing that's really, there's a lot of things that are unique about you, but one thing that stands out for me is your professional experience. So I'm wondering if it would make sense to share with everyone that and kind of maybe how that impacted you deciding to go in the direction that you have.
Yeah, I had quite the journey starting off. I went to college the first time around for computer science and had a love-hate for not having human contact.
Yes.
Right? Like I as much as I love to sit in front of a screen and figure out a puzzle, which was programming, there was no real human contact. And I remember sitting there for 6 hours trying to figure out that there was a semicolon missing in the code, and just like that was it for me. I'm like, done. I can't do this. Like I can't make a professional life out of this.
Yeah.
And so fun story. I sold health and life insurance to senior citizens. I did lots of customer service jobs. I rescreened doors and windows.
I didn't know this is great. I always learn new things about my friends during Folding with Friends.
And then I answered a customer service job at Craigslist for a veterinary hospital, and I was a receptionist at a vet hospital. Yeah. And then I moved myself through the ranks. Like I was really good. I think the pattern recognition was really good in medicine.
Yeah, totally.
You know? And then I just wound up helping out. I became on-the-job trained vet assistant. I was really good with inventory. So then that apparently makes you a manager in a vet hospital.
I could see that. I mean, it is important, and if that's not something that a lot of people can do easily, I could see why that'd be an in-demand skill.
Yeah. And then as one does to prove themselves, I probably have 12 certifications with compassion fatigue and practice management, business leadership. I got my postgraduate degree in coaching and leadership development. I've taken so much leadership and I think I have well over 500 hours logged for my certifications.
Incredible.
So, but yeah, I had an opportunity to buy into a vet practice, and I took that, and we had that for 7 years before we sold it to corporate consolidation. And then now I'm in a learning and development space full time and trying to get my coaching business off the ground over the last year and a half.
So cool. Well, I know that you and I were chatting earlier today about what would be a good topic to talk about. And I really liked the one that you had suggested, because I think so many people with ADHD face this. And I would love to dive into that with you.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about like inner critic and imposter syndrome. And I think it's so important from what I have seen, you know, and the statistics are there, right? People who are ADHD or neurodivergent, they oftentimes get, I mean, the stats are all over the place, 5, 7, 10 times more negative feedback in their lives.
Right.
And just in childhood than the neurotypical. And so I think that's a big part in this, is we have internalized in those thoughts and those words, and we have created that to be our inner critic. And so
real quick, I just want to ask the audience, because we have several different platforms going right now. So if anyone's, regardless of where you're watching or listening from, can anyone just maybe do a hand emoji, like raising your hand, if you can relate to inner critic or imposter syndrome being something that you've dealt with or you struggle with. And thank you to Cleek K Bear. Oh, Cleek. Yeah, sorry, I had a window open. Your videos are so funny. I like your outfits. Thank you. As I did this one last week for our community call. That was about don't let your finances take you prisoner. So so that was my little dad joke. But okay, so I agree. This is absolutely a thing that is a big challenge for a lot of us. Why is that, Ron?
Yeah, I think it has to do with that negative feedback we get early in age. We've internalized these thoughts. We create these thoughts, and instead of realizing, have you ever watched, was it Crimson Tide?
Yes.
The movie?
Yeah.
With Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman?
Yes.
There's a scene when they're on the submarine, and I think they receive some information. It's like partial information. Gene Hackman's supposed to be, I think, the captain of the ship. And he's like, we're going to launch the nuclear missiles. And Denzel is like, all right, he's got the second key ready to do the code. He needs to fire it off. And then he looks at the transmission and he's like, it's incomplete. We can't make this decision. Right. And to me, that is very like parallel with what we do in our head, or what we need to be doing in our heads. We let Gene Hackman take control and hit the nuclear missiles. And that's the breakdowns and letting the inner critic kind of take control and be captain of the boat.
Wow. I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas we can be Denzel Washington and we can say, listen, we've got half the information here. Let's slow down. Let's diplomatically look at the transmission and decide what we're going to do to move forward in a diplomatic and calm way. That's the pause that we say in leadership and life, and like creating the pause for yourself. Like, to me, it's like we get to be the diplomat and we get to listen to the inner critic for the underlying message and then make a decision on how we move forward.
So
separate
sometimes
the self from that inner critic.
I love that. I was going to say, sometimes our genes can feel like they can hack us. And if we allow them to, they can nuke our self-esteem.
100%. And think about that. If you constantly and for me, it was 40 years of letting that Gene Hackman, so to speak, like just run wild and be frustrated at the world and be angry and triggered at everything. Like, that's not a place I want to live in. And to feel like I can now take control and just say, okay, I hear you, right? Because I feel like the inner critic is human in a lot of ways. When we don't feel heard or seen or validated, we get louder, we throw a temper tantrum, we put pressure on the situation. And I think that's exactly what the inner critic does.
Exactly. I'll turn the phone here for a second. So up on the back of the door is a picture of baby Andrea. And we had those on the bathrooms at the wedding, our wedding, for like boys and girls to know where people will go. But I now have the one that has my photo in my office, in a place where I can see it, so that it's usually like when I'm rolling my eyes and I look up and there's little Ryan, and I'm realizing, it reminds me, hey, like, it's okay. Like you're probably throwing a little tantrum right now, so let's just work through it.
That's such a great anchor.
Yeah, thank you. The challenge I find is the object permanence, where it's like it starts to blend in, where it's there, but I quote unquote don't see it. But there are times where I do see it and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Well, tell us more about this. And I love what you said about, really helping to maybe strengthen the muscle of that, giving us a little bit more time. Like, did we receive the full transmission of the message, which we know in ADHD brains, we don't usually get the full story, at least not right away. And so using that second key, really like the visual there. And Avery said, wow, she loved that too. So what can we do? Because I was talking to a client about this last week, between like stimulus, and then you have either a response or a reaction. So it's like it was like me upstairs tonight. Like, I can choose how to respond rather than just reacting. Yeah. So any tips on that for folks who are listening?
Yeah. I think I love the fact that you call it a muscle, because I think that's exactly what you need to do. We need to, one, just isolate where the muscle is that we're trying to work on. So oftentimes with my clients, I am like, all right, now that we have understood the inner critic and we know, we can then parse it apart from our identity into understanding that the voice is not our own. Yes. Then we can start to just either in the moment recognize it's happened, or be reflective and understand like what was going on with me in that moment, right? Just isolating those moments and really building awareness. And then step two is re-regulating emotions, because oftentimes we dysregulate when that thing is really loud and putting a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And so I've got a really cool kind of tool activity I do with my clients to re-regulate emotions. And then we can ask the question of our inner critic, or like be the Denzel Washington in that moment. It's like, okay, let me see the transmission. What's the underlying message to the transmission? I always like to think of the inner critic as a protector.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I go from it, like it's the Spartan warrior in my mind, right? Like, I want to hear the message and you can take your armor off.
Yeah.
And so then I can listen to it. I can say, all right, what's the underlying message going on? And then I can make a decision about how I move forward. And maybe the inner critic gets its way, but maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. But to make the decision, I think, is more empowering for us than it is to just live that way by default.
Yes. 100%. That's good. And even if, like, knowing we're not going to be perfect, obviously.
Yeah.
But even if, to use the muscle analogy, like we're not like a bodybuilder, but if you're just getting it strong enough that you're not giving into that reaction as often, like I tell my clients, like progress is still success. Like even if you're not perfect yet, that's okay. Like you're still working through it.
And I try to remind people, like, the point is never to silence the inner critic, right? Like if you try and silence your child, you're probably going to get a temper tantrum.
Oh yeah.
Like if we try to silence the inner critic, it's going to get louder. It's going to act out in different ways. And so really, if we can honor what it's saying and move forward, I think that's really important. In just allowing it to feel heard.
Totally.
As like almost like a little being in our heads, but separating that from our identity allows us to realize that, yes, we can have thoughts. Yes, we can emotionally dysregulate and come back and not have to have the shame that comes with it. So, yeah, that's the really powerful thing that I've been doing, and a lot of research on identity. I think you asked me what my favorite book was recently, and yes. I'm reading The Other Side of Change, and I grabbed it this time, by Maya Shankar.
Okay.
Shankar. And
yeah.
It basically talks about who our identities were before and after change. So like chapter 1, I mean, get ready for the tissues because you're going to need it. It talks about a young lady who had a stroke, and then she had locked-in syndrome where she was conscious but couldn't move her body.
Oh my gosh.
And about how she's still clinging on to the identity of who she was as an able-bodied person. She was still self-conscious of like drooling. She was still self-conscious of like how she looked, even though she had no control of her body. And that identity actually kept her from progressing forward in healing herself.
Oh my gosh.
And until she accepted that identity. And once she did, she was able to make leaps and bounds in her rehab and recovery. And it was just so fascinating to me.
That is fascinating. And now my mind's going to like, how did we hear about the story? She must have gotten to the part where she could explain, like articulate it somehow, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she's able to walk again with minimal age. She's able to speak. I mean, she's got deficits physically, so she's never recovered 100%.
Sure.
But she's recovered enough to tell her story. I'd love to figure out like I'm sure there's a YouTube or something out there with her actual story. But once I finished the book, that was one of the most powerful stories I read in a really long time.
Wow.
And how we hold on to this identity to our detriment. And I think about that in the way neurodivergent, when we mask and, we tend to be who others think we should be, even if we're not even conscious of doing it.
Yes. One of my favorite phrases along this line is should, the word should, it either comes from or leads to shame. Like should comes from shame. Because it's like, oh, I should be able to whatever, or I should try to do it differently or the way other people want me to. And it's like, yeah, it's just this endless cycle.
Yeah, 100%. So, and it's like, if we can just figure out where we are, performing human being, and just learn to say, okay, I understand it's not safe for me to be my authentic self in this situation, and I'm going to be who they think like. To me, again, that goes back to making a decision that is empowering, even if it is detrimental and it's exhausting. It's way more mentally empowering to say, this is where I'm going to do it because it's where I need safety, than to have that run as your default and erode your identity and erode who your whole being is. I've had clients who are like, I don't even know what my favorite color is because I'm supposed to say pink because I'm a female, right?
Ah,
And they don't know, they've never really asked themselves what is their favorite color. They just have a societal normal answer. And I think that's the erosion of masking. I think it's way more insidious than we realize.
that's actually a really simple yet powerful example.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I really like that one. Not that I like that she experienced that, but I think it really illustrates it. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, I had another client. I don't know how we got on the topic, but she was talking about her handwriting and how she really worked hard in her childhood to develop the handwriting that looked very similar to her grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Right. And like, to me, that's a low level version of masking, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
probably not your handwriting. And you just had to work this skill really hard. And she still has to think about how she makes certain letters to make sure that she's doing it the way she wants it to be made.
That's interesting. And immediately when you talked about handwriting, I thought of mine because I actually have very nice handwriting. It sounds like sexist towards men, but for a man,
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
and so people compliment me on it, and I'll say thank you. Like I'm proud of it. It's just kind of I come from both of my parents have very nice handwriting, in different ways. So it's just funny because my writing definitely does look like a blend of theirs.
Yeah, my grandmother was a calligrapher, and so she had taught me. I don't get me wrong, like I still have messy handwriting, but it's very flowy compared to the stereotypical male handwriting.
Wait a minute. What's that? You want to see a demonstration of my handwriting? I forgot I brought this. So I made this today, and in case you're just listening, it says, "Good news, you are not broken."
Love it.
So yeah, when I'm on calls with clients, one of my fidgets, if you will, is doodling, and so I'll just kind of do like the edges and colors and whatever as I'm listening to clients, and it actually helps me to focus. So that's kind of my fun little thing. Oh, thank you, Christina. She says, "Oh, I like that." Oh, here we go. Oh, your writing does look like calligraphy. That's really nice.
It's very flowy.
Yeah, it looks like you could have signed the Declaration of Independence.
Not quite that.
All right, so we have a question. Christina, who is watching on another platform, and thank you, Christina, for engaging here. She said, "I don't like the Vyvanse I take with lots of C's. It gives me mood swings. Any tips?" Now, Coach Ryan and Coach Ron are not medical professionals. The following will be a potential discussion of lived experience only. Please consult a physician or prescribing professional for your own personal needs, or something to that effect.
Great PSA. Yeah.
So, yeah, she said, "LOL." She understands. Literally, we talked about this during a group coaching call today. People were talking about their different medications. This is something, Ron, it's just kind of like, it's fascinating, but this is one of those things for me that I can't remember the names of the ones I've taken.
Interesting.
It's very weird. It's like, I know some people say, "Oh, can't remember people's names." I'm great with names, but for some reason with medication, it's like, I'm pretty sure I At one point, I had Vyvanse. Another time, I had Concerta, because I had Adderall originally, but I ended up coming back to the Adderall, just because there was one time, I forget which one it was. I want to say it was maybe Concerta, but don't quote me on that. Where I was saying to my prescribing physician, he's a nurse practitioner actually, but I said, I feel like I'm like so tired.
Mm.
It's so weird. Like I've never been this tired. And he just casually says something. He goes like, well, yeah, that's the negative inverse. And I'm like, the what? And he goes, yeah, sometimes people have the exact opposite reaction to a medication than they're supposed to. I'm like,
It's a
okay.
paradoxical effect. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay, paradoxical. I'm like, I literally had no idea that was a thing. Um,
Yep.
and wow, so glad I get to experience it. Um, but Christina, here's what I do. Oh, thank you for the heart, by the way. Um, I just want to tell you that the average, and I remember this, is that folks with ADHD, on average, will have to try like 2.7 different medications till they find one that works for them. Um, and as far as the mood swings go, I was actually thinking about this earlier when Ron was sharing. Um, what were you? You're sharing something about like your emotions and how you like you're angry at the world. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I just know that for me, yeah, because you talked about, do you want to keep living this way, or are there certain like factors that are causing this? And I immediately thought of, for myself, it's usually later in the afternoon. I'm tired. I'm most likely not hydrating well enough, and I've spent a lot of consecutive hours in front of a screen just because of the nature of our work.
Yep.
And she goes, "Yep, um, I feel angry at the world too, and I've tried all the medication too." And she goes, "Yes." So she's relating to what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. So here's what I've tried to do. So this would be, I guess, my tip, and I want to hear Coach Ron's take on it too. Um, Today, when I was making this sign after I finished my client call, this is kind of like I guess, in a way, like it's therapeutic for me, where
Mm-hmm.
when I can't get my brain to brain, where it's like I'm trying to do the things, um, and I'm like, you know what? I think like this is all I have the energy for right now. Like kind of a mindless task, but it's at least something, and it makes me feel better and whatever. And then maybe it brings a little bit of inspiration. And she says, yeah, it's a good creative outlet. Um, So my suggestion would be, if you notice any patterns like that, Christina, maybe whether it's like getting up and taking a break, and I don't know, like your situation, if you're at work or where you're feeling these things, but I find like, going to get a drink of water, going for a walk, even if it's like in an office or around your house, if the weather isn't good, or you can listen to a song that you like, because emotions are tied to music too. Um, so
Yep.
obviously those are not medication tips, but I work from home on the screen and so isolated. Okay, great. I'm so glad you said that, because what I want to suggest to everybody is, I forgot to say this earlier, but we have a free digital community, which you can find the links in my profile. It's totally free to join. And the whole reason I created it was to bring more of us together. I also have the worst RSD. Oh, join the club, sister. I feel that one. Can someone else do like a sad face emoji if you also have RSD? And in case you're not sure what RSD is, it's rejection sensitivity dysphoria. The way I describe it is, we tend to bruise more easily. Like, we have big feelings high, big feelings low. Um,
Yeah.
So anyway, Coach Ron, your thoughts on Christina's question?
Yeah. I think when we think about moods, I would almost track. Like I almost want to journal and track it in the sense of,
Yeah.
is this medication related because it happens only when you take the Vyvanse, or is this a consistent pattern of your life, whatever medication you're on, and this is actually an underlying like autonomy issue, where the only time you can take that mask off is at the end of the day. You can really be yourself in the safety of your own home, in your own bedroom, and that's where all of the emotional regulation comes in, or the dysregulation comes in, because there's such a lack of autonomy with masking.
And can you also, I should have said this earlier, would you mind just describing what you mean by masking, just in case someone's not like aware of that?
For me, masking is it's insidious in the sense of you are putting on a show or a performance, or you're going to work and trying to look professional, or what we consider professional, right? You're trying to adhere to societal expectations, even when it goes against your own being.
Yes. Like, if it feels like resistance, you're having internal resistance to whatever it is you're doing, that's usually a good sign of masking. She says, yes, that makes so much sense. I hate masking. I mask all day. Yes, I feel so fake all the time. I'm sorry to hear that.
My question is the medication, and if you can tie it from a pattern standpoint of like, when I take the medication, this happens, or am I taking the medication able to mask better, and then coming off the meds and crashing and like realizing how much autonomy you don't have in your life unconsciously, and then having all of these big feelings.
Hey everyone, can you tell that Coach Ron specializes in this kind of stuff? Because I can. What awesome insights. That is so good. So Christina, you didn't expect that, huh? And actually, Coach Ron, would it be okay if I told Christina and everybody else about the partnership we've been exploring? And
absolutely.
Yeah. So being that Coach Ron and I have been coaching buddies for a year now, when we were just catching up recently, I was telling him about one of the things I've been working on, and he was very intrigued by it and wanted to learn more. And it's something that I call the Accountability Academy. Accountability Academy. And basically, not only are we wanting to get people out of their isolation, but also help them to make forward progress. Christina says she needs to talk to you. She said, nail on the head. Avery says, I should move to the beach.
The one thing I want to say about isolation and working from home, because as I also, I'm sure you do too, working from home, it is 100% isolating, right? We don't have coworkers. We're not going into an office. There's very little, if any, separation between work and home.
Yes.
The best things we can do is to create anchors for the beginning and end of our day.
Ooh, say more.
So and I did this for a while, and I've changed up my anchors quite a bit, but I would go for a 10-minute drive, replicate your commute, come home into your office and do the thing.
Wow.
Done for the day, go back in your car, figure out a flight plan, so to speak, and then that is your anchor. Let your mind decompress, right? When we were driving in that commute, your mind is able to process a lot of what happened in your day.
Wow.
And when you're working from home, we go right into work, and then there's no delineation, and you go right into home and you're doing things, and we don't allow that quiet processing time that we get in the car, or that time that you are, listening to the radio and blasting and feeling all the emotions. And so we have lost the commute, and we need to create anchors. And so that might be getting in your car. That could be taking a walk around your neighborhood. That could be whatever it is that works for you to create a new anchor.
What a great idea. And I'm taking mental notes over here too, from Coach Ron, because that's a great tip. And I know that I need something like that, because it is really hard to do transitions I mean, whether it's ADHD, ASD, or Audi ADHD, where it's a mix of both, like Ned Hollowell talks about how we have trouble getting started and we have trouble stopping. So having those anchors, and like I talked earlier about that, like startup ritual that I have, that's a good anchor for the start of my day. So yeah, getting one at the end of the day, great idea. Christina says, "Thank you, Coach Ron." Sorry, go ahead. What? I cut you off. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I realized how much I lost in my commute. Like, I got really excited about remote work when I first got it.
Yeah.
And you run on that honeymoon phase for quite a while.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it's like, God, I hate this work now. It's not really the work; it's just the transitions, because we've lost a lot of process time.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's a good catch, because it's not necessarily the work; it's more of and not even the environment, but the pattern, the routine. There we go. The routine of it can be tough. I always ask this at the end, but since Christine is here, I want to. This is a Coach Ryan standard phrase, but I want to strike while the dopamine is hot. So if she wants to talk with you, Coach Ron, what's the best way for her to do that?
Yeah. First of all, LinkedIn. I'm the most active on social media. If you want to talk with me on a one-to-one discovery call, my website is syn-apt, so synapt, kind of like the brain synapse, .me, so .me. So it's syn-apt.me.
Cool. Thank you.
And
that's awesome.
I'll be happy to walk through that unmasking journey, because it's like I said, that it's so insidious, and you don't even realize how much secondary dysregulation, cognitive load there is just from masking all day.
Oh my gosh, it's a great point. That reminds me that, speaking of like the startup stack and these anchoring, the anchoring idea. Another thing I want to tell everyone about, and hopefully Christina, you can check this out, and others will be there too. Even if you're not part of the community, but we hope you can become part of the community, we offer every single week in the Ryan Mayer coaching community, we offer a free community call. And the community calls, what they are for, is for us to present on topics that are really relevant and helpful to ADHD, folks that have ADHD. So like, it's basically me brainstorming ideas based on conversations I've had with my clients. So tomorrow, we're going to be talking about building systems that can help you when your brain doesn't want to move. Let's see.
So good.
Avery asks, do you work with nervous system regulation? Avery, I have someone on my team who I would love to connect you with. If you're okay with that, Coach Ron, not that I'm trying to.
No, absolutely.
Okay, so I just realized I forgot to kind of finish my thought. Accountability Academy, I started talking about before. We're going to be offering several time slots, but at its core, it is 1 hour, at least 1 hour a week, where people come together to log in and make tangible progress on the projects or the tasks that are most important, and typically the ones that we may avoid. So a lot of times my clients will say to me, well, I guess I've kind of realized this over time, and I'll tell them, you already know what to do. Like, you already have the answers inside of you. You just need me to ask you the questions that you might be a little bit afraid to ask yourself. But once people get to a certain point, they're like, okay, like, I think I can do this. I've learned some things from Coach Ryan. And maybe they don't want to continue on a one-on-one or a group setting. So instead, I'll say, come to the Accountability Academy. It can be a good on-ramp. It can be a good off-ramp from coaching. So for $99 a month, you can have a place where you're going to come in. There's going to be no judgment. And we help to facilitate productivity, basically. So it's like we're telling our brains to go even when we don't want to. Yeah, where's the link for the Accountability Academy? So, Christina, if you join my digital community, which I believe you already have, you can send me a DM or even just book a call if you want. But yeah, in fact, Coach Ron's planning on having an Accountability Academy call tomorrow, or on Wednesdays in the future at least.
Yeah, definitely Wednesdays.
Can you tell Christina and everyone else what it's called? Because I loved what you thought of.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, what days would work for this? And I think Wednesdays were free. And I'm like, this is great. Let's get the week back on track. And Wednesdays are called hump day, right? So I'm like, hump day, no slump day. Let's get the week back on track.
I love it. So no more slump day. It's the hump day. It's not the slump day. Let's get on top of the mountain of the middle of the week.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. But yeah, Christina, you can definitely just let me know, send me a message, and we'll get you connected with somebody. And speaking of, if anybody is out there and you're listening and this is sounding any of this stuff is sounding interesting, we're here for you. Whether it's someone like me or someone on my team or Coach Ron, like, I am so proud of the work that I do now because I've become the resource that I so desperately needed, but couldn't find. So, it's the work we do is so meaningful to us. So just know you don't have to do it by yourself.
That's such a good point. Like, your Accountability Academy on Monday, what was there, like 11 people there?
Yeah, it was really, I thought it was really good.
It was wonderful. I've found it so productive for myself to just get on those calls and power through the tedious tasks I don't want to do.
You talked about one of the books that you were reading. I would love to know what are some of the things that are exciting you right now, just in your work.
Some of the things that are exciting me right now. Most of the work I'm doing right now is around confidence, inner critic, imposter syndrome, and then I'm working on. So I just published my book, Rewriting the Rules, and I'm working on a follow-up on-demand course. So how to implement the systems or break the systems in our workplaces so that we can be more human-centered, more neuro-inclusive, and build awareness into, what the people are not the problem. The people are not broken. The systems are broken. I like to say that we've inherited systems from the industrial era, and we've been running our companies and corporations like this for a long time. How do we stop? If you think about the trolley scenario, are you familiar with the trolley scenario, Ryan?
No, I'm not. Tell me about the trolley scenario.
So the trolley scenario says there's like a trolley raging down the tracks, and on the main track, you've got 5 people tied up to the track.
Okay.
And you, Ryan, have the power to click the button or the lever, and the train can go on the side track.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of hitting the 5 people. The problem is there's one person tied up on the side track. What do you do?
Oh dear.
It's meant to be like an ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
I think for me, there's parallel with how we set up our workplaces, in the sense like we create policies and procedures and buildings and workflows and systems all around helping the many in our businesses.
Yes.
Or the sidetrack is accommodating the few.
Yes.
And so can we now look at the fact that the scenario is flawed, the system is flawed? What else is in our power? Do we have the ability to shut down the train? Is somebody else on the train? Like we now can ask questions and bring more nuance to the scenario rather than just saying this is your binary option.
I'm really glad that you say that, because that was like my gut reaction was, well, wait, do we have to do that? Well, since they're tied up, what if I could jump on the train and like pull the brake or something,
Yeah. That's the whole point, is like, let's start asking questions. Let's like reflect on, implement for new, sustain the momentum and empower the next generation, because humans evolve, and our workplaces should evolve around the people in it.
Well, really, I think we need to redefine what inclusion means. Inclusion beyond. Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of books that we're reading, Rewriting the Rules by Coach Ron Sosa, right here. That's the one that's right next to my desk right now.
Yeah, so I'm creating an on-demand course all around the book for more implementation,
I love that.
rather than just concept.
Yeah. And that, by the way, love that you're doing that, because talk about helping out your target audience. Because the book is good, but getting some guidance on how to implement it is even better.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we read a lot of books. There's a lot of theory, and I think it's important to have theory and then experiment and play. But, there's not a lot of times where you run into an issue trying to implement something, and then where do you go? Now there's resources for that.
Yeah. So good. If you have a little more time, how is your time? Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
The kids are all in bed.
Nice. What we usually run into at this time, when Andrea hasn't made an appearance yet, is that she's most likely in Shane's toddler bed, curled up in this tiny, let's see. So Avery says, especially as ADHDers, we need all details, and we're going to come with a million questions. 100%.
Yes, please come with questions.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
And I came with some questions today. I was telling Coach Ron ahead of time, like, hey, I know we're going to have a great discussion regardless, but there's always some fun questions that I like to toss in, and I'm going to try to start tossing in more often.
Yeah.
So one of those, besides Crimson Tide, what are some of your favorite movies?
I think my all-time favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh.
And it's one of those things that just brings you back to childhood, and
Yes.
You remember the joy that you had as a kid, with no responsibility, with no nothing, but just joy watching something.
Love that.
Yeah. That's my all-time favorite.
And how about a book?
Yeah, this one's hard for me to answer. I think I get excited about things at different times, and It's hard to gauge the excitement versus like which one was really my favorite.
Yeah, sure. The shininess.
Yeah, right. Gosh, I think you asked me this once before, and I had a hard time answering it. But I really like, in fact, Vanessa Van Edwards was at the neurodiversion conference that we went to last year.
Yes.
And I brought my book, Cues, and I had her sign it because I was so excited that she was there. I don't even know if you know that. So
wait, I didn't know that she was there?
No, I don't know if you knew I brought my book and had her sign it.
No, I did not know that. And not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jelly, because I'm a huge fan of the work that she and her team do. And that was happening right before. Oh, there it is. What does it say?
You are free to be you and find your people.
Oh, that's great. Way to go, VVE. Oh, good job. Make sure you get it back in the right spot.
Yes.
No, that's what I say. I'm jealous because I'm a huge fan of her work, and that was a session like right before mine. And so there's no way I could have like gone there and been okay to just sit there. So I was bummed out. Is she gonna be back? I don't know.
Her face is on the website, but I don't know. There's a lot of faces that were there last year, so
right.
I don't know if it's it's this year or just last year's. But yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see her in a session that I looked.
Well,
but she did this book on cues, which is all about body language.
Yeah.
Warmth versus competence.
Yeah.
And for somebody who has had to study body language to be a professional, to be more equitable in the workplace. Like, I always found it fascinating.
Wow. I literally, just as you started saying that, it clicked for me, because I know that for some folks with autism, those kind of things are not as intuitive, right?
Yeah.
So getting a roadmap like that would be super helpful.
Yeah. I've been fascinated by body language for a long time, and I think it made sense because I'm like, I never understood it, and therefore I wanted to understand it. And so it's almost overcompensated now, especially in my coaching. Like, I really pick apart body language on video now in my groups, and they're like, how did you even pick that up? It's because I developed this skill to compensate.
Yeah. Can you give a couple examples just for people to get a flavor of, like, well, what does that mean exactly? Like, what could be some cues?
I don't know if they're conscious cues per se, but there are definitely like a light scrunching of the eyebrows it's like a micro expression.
Yes, I remember her saying, yeah.
There's expressions that we do with our nostrils, or how we fidget, right? What hand we fidget with, where we look, left or right. Like, if we, there's information about the psychology of body language, and when you try and put something in front of your face is to try and lie about it, because we don't want you to see our mouth, right? And so there's the dark ways, right?
Yeah.
Dark psychology of trying to find people out. But also, just, it's so interesting for me to be in the veterinary profession for a long time, talking with clients and having to get, buy-in as far as financials to pay for their vet care. It was really, really helpful to understand, like, when I was talking in a way that they felt turned off, and then I could change that in real time.
Wow.
And so, like, if they're crossing their legs a certain way, or they had open body language versus closed body language, would help me then adjust my communication in an exam room in the moment.
Wow. That is an awesome example. So cool. And that was just for me asking about a book.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite books, because she talks about it from a warmth and competence. So I think she did it in two, like in a matrix of warmth and competence. But it was very interesting. There's, if we pick it apart a little bit, I love Vanessa Van Edwards, and I love the work she did. I do think that there are parts of it that ask us to mask, but then it's in a way that it's an empowering mask. So just knowing that it is there, because it's not your natural body language if you choose to adopt it. It's just knowing that you're doing it rather than making it your default.
I just want to get a clarification. So you said warmth, and then did you say competence or confidence?
Yes.
Competence. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So what makes you appear more competent, and what makes you appear more warm?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could see that. That makes more sense now. Thank you for elaborating. Okay, so we talked about movie, talked about book. Oh, how about travel?
Travel. Yeah. I traveled to Banff last year, which was absolutely stunning and beautiful, and got to see a glacier.
That's in Canada, right?
That's in Canada, in Alberta.
Okay.
I got to speak at a vet conference about neurodiversity, and like, I was just so cool to go up there. The little hotel that they have, conference center, it literally looked like the Hogwarts castle.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like a walk around this little tiny town. They have like one bus that it takes you right in the middle of town, and there's lots of shopping. And then we walk down just a little bit of ways, and there's a glacier in the ocean. Like, there's
a glacier.
Phenomenal. Yeah, it was like just there. It's like how we see trees.
Yeah,
there's a glacier.
Glacier.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, because I don't think I told you yet. Fun excursion for the mayors coming up. We are going to be going to Iceland.
Very nice.
It just makes me chuckle because I mean, I've heard great things about Iceland, but the reason I'm chuckling is our reason for going, which is to go see the eclipse.
Oh,
Because remember how that was like such a big thing a couple of years ago, like
yeah.
whatever, 2 years ago. Well, now it's coming back around, and one of the remember this whole phrase? What do they call it? The path of totality. It just sounded so dramatic. The path of totality. But anyway, one of the areas where there'll be like a full eclipse is in Iceland. So Andrea, my wife, says like, "Hey, we said we were interested in Iceland. Let's be eclipse chasers." And I'm like, that is so weird. I just was like, I mean, sure. Like, if we're gonna go to Iceland, like, why not?
I've heard it's absolutely beautiful and stunning up there.
Yeah, and we've now started the YouTube research, and apparently the time that we are going, which is in August, is quite good for weather and stuff. So that'll be kind of fun. I would say on my like bucket list though, where I want to travel to is Thailand. I just really would like to see that.
I'm with you. I would love to go to Thailand.
I think
my trip this year is going to be in Scotland.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so I'm actually speaking at a retreat in Scotland for 4 days.
What?
Yeah.
Another vet thing or something else?
Another vet thing, yeah.
That's cool.
Most of my speaking is in the veterinary
community. But that's so cool.
Wow. It is. I'm excited, and it's different. Number one, speaking is different, right? Because you're not going there with like a PowerPoint. You're going there with a couple topics and diving deep into conversation and fireside chat style, and I absolutely love it. And the other thing is like we're staying at a castle. Like, how cool is that?
Yes, come on.
Yeah. They have a whiskey tasting bar in the castle, and I'm so excited.
Well, it'll probably be Scotch, right?
You're probably right.
Yeah, but that's basically, I think it's like whiskey. It's like American whiskey, but theirs is Scotch. That's cool, man. What a fun! That'll be fun.
Are you taking your kids to Iceland?
No way.
Good for you.
Yeah. But I know you and I were texting back and forth because you were sharing the cute pictures of you and your family that you guys were in Disney, and that's going to be our trip this year. We're going in early June to Disney. In fact, just today, did you guys use the magic bands?
We did not. No.
Oh, and you still survived.
We still survived. Now, doesn't mean my kids aren't upset by it, but
yeah, like, I mean, I'm new to this whole thing, so I don't. Yeah. But apparently, this is a thing that we can do, is get these bands to.
I think if we were a Disney, I mean, we sort of are a Disney family at this point. If I knew we were going to go every year, which I hate to say that we have over the last 3 years, I would probably have bought the band sooner. But I'm like, no, next year we're going to do something else. And the kids are like, no, we went Disney.
Yeah. Well,
hey. Like,
okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you know how the bands go, and if it's if it seems.
I will say, we went to the Universal. Was it Epic Universe? Yeah, Epic Universe. Phenomenal. Like,
this was the one. I think the one you sent me the picture of, or picture from. This is where it's like Mario, right?
Yeah, Super Nintendo Land.
I was
in heaven. I wanted to be 5 again.
You were 5 again.
Now, talk about bands. So the reason I said this is because they have a wristband that you can get, and then they have like the little blocks.
Yeah.
You know, the little question mark blocks.
Yes.
And you can punch the block, and you get like coin points in your wristband.
Come on, so good.
Yeah. I did not do that, but I wanted to. We got the kids their Harry Potter wands that they got to play in Harry Potter world with. But
that's great. Yeah, when you sent that, I'm like, that is so cool, because it literally, like, they did how they made that like depth of field. It was so cool. Like, I'm like, it literally looks like you're in Mario. Mario
Yeah,
World.
they did such a great job of transforming the little areas
Yeah.
to make them feel like you were transported in different world. In fact, you're walking through the concourse,
Yeah.
and every little like they got Super Mario World, like How to Train Your Dragon, a bunch of others.
Yeah.
And Super Mario World, you go into the little tunnel area and then up an escalator into like the green tunnel.
Yes.
Like you're going
Out the pipe.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
they've got the music playing and everything.
Great
experience.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So is that part of Disney?
No, Universal's a completely separate
Okay.
park.
Okay. This is you can see how prepared I am. But
Yeah, Universal has I think 4 theme parks now out there.
Okay.
So
What this is a side we're taking I'm pulling the lever to go to the side track.
yeah,
Any recommendations for Disney?
recommendations for Disney. All right, so like, are we roller coaster people or are we experienced people? Like, what kind of rides are you looking to do?
Great question. And also, anyone in the chat, feel free to toss out ideas. I would say at this point, we have not really done many coasters. And I've actually noticed, I don't know about you, but in my, like, I'm 40 now, but I notice my, what do you call it? Not my equilibrium, but I get like,
Nauseous.
yeah, it's like nauseous, but like if we go on a playground and we do like a spinny thing, I'm like, that doesn't feel good. That's kind of weird. I don't like how that feels. Whereas when I was little, it's like, yeah, let's go around 100 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we'll like rush to do coasters. So let's say it's not coasters.
The good thing is there's not a ton of coasters. Magic Kingdom is, imagine where you're going to start.
Well, it's funny. We just, our oldest, Ethan, wanted me to look it up. And so I literally did this randomly yesterday, ironically. And there's 9 total roller coasters at Disney, according to at least Google.
Yeah, I mean, they're not extensive roller coasters. I mean, so you've got like Space Mountain, and I don't even know the names of all of them.
Yeah.
Like that one's a staple. I feel like it's a it doesn't go upside down. It's in the dark. It's still fun. Doesn't last long.
Yeah, totally agree.
To me, it's like the nostalgia of going, since like Space Mountain was one of the originals.
Yes, I agree.
I have not been there since they decommissioned the Splash Mountain, which used to be my favorite ride.
Yeah.
And now it's I
think I saw
the Frog or something.
Yes, yeah, like a Bayou Adventure, maybe.
Yeah, so I haven't been there since they opened that. But Splash Mountain used to be my absolute favorite. And then my second favorite is the Haunted Mansion. And it's just a nostalgia thing. You know, I think the kids really love it.
That's classic. We watched something on Disney Plus about like the making of the Haunted Mansion and Jungle Cruise.
Yeah. Jungle Cruise is good. The Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
You've got to hit up. Yeah. How many days are you going?
We're going to be there for a week.
All right. So you'll have time. You don't need to rush. Yeah. You'll be fine. And
Andrea and I still have to have this discussion, but she's talking about possibly doing like a water park. We're doing a water park day, but she's talking about like doing it like park day, water park day, park day, water park day. So we'll see how it goes, but that's at least right now the kind of tentative plan. Yeah.
I would say definitely bring something for your kids to occupy their time while they are waiting in line.
Okay. That's it. You know what? I've not heard that tip. That's a great tip.
Yeah. I always have a backpack of something for them to read, for them to doodle, to do something while they're waiting in line, because there's a lot of waiting in line.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you haven't done it already, look at the restaurant reservations if you're a restaurant person, because the concession food's not that great.
Yep. Okay.
If you're a foodie. And the reservations go fast.
Like, yes, that's what I've heard.
You can't just do it same day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay.
That's my Disney experience.
All right. Well, so it sounds like you did a good job planning some of the food. Any recommendations there?
Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. So if you really want an experience, are you staying in a hotel in the Disney?
We are. We're staying on a Disney property at
Nice.
the Caribbean.
Okay. Like some of the Disney breakfast experiences are pretty cool for the kids because the characters come around and say
Right.
hi, and those are really, really fun for the kids.
Yeah.
You have the castle dinner is a little pricey, but worth it just for the kids' sake.
Yeah.
Like just doing it one time at least.
Yeah.
I think Beauty and the Beast has a thing. Like again, the food's not always great, but
Yeah. It's more
the experience.
Yes. Totally. Totally. Okay.
I think I absolutely love going to Epcot for dinners because they have, all the different countries.
Yes.
The German food for me is really, really good.
Ooh.
I love German food though.
I seem to remember that being really good because it's funny. Andrea and I'm only a couple years older than her, but our families, like we're both the oldest of three, and our two younger siblings are about the same age as each other. And both of our families went in the year 2000, which is funny. That's the only year that you say the year 2000, as opposed to like we went there in 2000. We went there in 2001. We went there in the year 2000. Anyway, but I remember Epcot and the food and the was that where there was like the huge like drumstick turkey, like I don't know.
Yeah, you can get that at some of the concession stands throughout the different parks. Yeah. But yeah, Epcot's great for food and shopping.
Okay, food and shopping. I'll remember that by epic food. Epcot has epic food. Oh, one other thing here too that I wanted to ask about, switching gears, back to neurodiversion.
Yeah.
It's sold out this year for those who were thinking
Nice.
about checking it out. I know a couple people on the planning committee, and I asked them, like, how big is it going to be? And apparently last year it was around 300 people, and this year they've doubled it. So it's 600 people. Isn't that awesome?
That is pretty cool. I saw that they had 2 venues.
Yes, right. Speaking of, did you have a chance to fill that thing out?
Fill the thing out.
Do you know what I'm talking? The form? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
About the author thing.
Oh, did you send me something?
I thought that I did? Question mark. I thought I forwarded it to you. It just says like it's a link to a Google form.
Okay, I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean I didn't get it.
Well, that also makes me nervous, so I'm writing it down.
Okay.
To make sure I'm just going to verify I sent it.
You would have emailed it or texted or?
Most often I text things.
Okay. Yeah, I don't recall seeing that. But
okay, that's all right. We're going to write it down.
But that's exciting.
Yeah. So
I just have to figure out if I can get some books.
And they talk about that in there. Forward Google form about author to run. Okay, back to my question.
Yeah.
Last year, you were excited about Vanessa Van Edwards. Are there specific things that you're really looking forward to at Neurodiversion 2026?
Yes, but I couldn't tell you what they are right now.
Okay.
Because I can't remember what's there.
Well, right.
I remember going through their app and like signing up for the sessions.
Yes.
There was something that got me excited. Oh, number one, there was a coaching roundtable or something like that.
Oh, good.
So I did sign up for that. That was intriguing. but I can't remember. I want to do all the parenting stuff I can because that's always a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
I remember getting one of the books last year about parenting neurodivergent children, which has really helped me kind of regulate myself when I'm out before getting to them, and
Yes.
parenting dysregulated.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember the actual schedule. I need to maybe look it up. But I think it's only on the app, isn't it?
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
But I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, we went to dinner at that, like the exotic meat place where they had bear and gazelle and all these different.
Well, I remember that they had like the butcher thing up in the front of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that was, it was, like,
yeah.
Because
a Japanese restaurant. I took a picture of it just so I wouldn't forget about it. That we went to, and I think probably the day before that, and it was absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to go back to that Japanese restaurant.
Yeah,
if you like sushi.
Because it's coming back to me. I'm pretty sure at that restaurant, I ate ostrich.
Yes.
I'm like, and it was just so fun to be with such a great, like, I feel like you get this with neurodivergent people usually, but everyone was like, yeah, let's all share stuff. And that was really fun to be able to taste test some of the things.
Yeah. I Geraldine and I meet up every other week for like the last, 4 or 5 months.
Oh my gosh. That's phenomenal. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's great.
We get into like really deep philosophical, like neurodiversity, neurospicy information.
Yes.
So
those are the best kind.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what anybody who goes to this event, which again, we're talking about neurodiversion 2026, but it's sold out this year, but keep following along because, I think this thing's going to grow and there'll be more chances next year. But just that there's such good people, good conversation. Like, people don't mess around talking about the shallow stuff. They get right to it, which I love.
Yes, no small talk.
No.
It's like killer. I am curious, though, for you, Ryan. Yeah. I have keep putting it at the bottom of my pile because I keep getting new books, probably at least several times a week. I have not read Chris Guillebeau's book, Time Anxiety. Did you read it already?
I have read most of it. So I've opened it because that was my New Year's resolution. Is to open more books. It's really good, and I'm not just saying that.
I believe it. I need to read it. It's up here somewhere. I heard this.
It's white.
I'm like, it's got a little greenish hue to it, I think.
Oh, okay, nice.
Or, yeah. I've not read this one yet. I've read probably 98% of the books on my shelf. I just haven't read this one yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
I keep putting it off. All right. I always say I had time anxiety because I have this urge to show up early or I get anxious.
Yes.
And when I'm late, like I just, like my husband, bless him, he is a person who is always late. No matter what.
What is his name, by the way?
Alex.
Yeah. Alex and I would get along great. Because
we'll go to a function together and I'm just like, all right, and he knows it. Like I completely dysregulate if we start running late.
Well, yep. I'm like shuddering over here because I can remember being like, 12 or 13 years old. And I was almost always the last one out of the house. And my dad is like, his thing is he would rev the engine of the car. And beep and stuff. And I'm okay. So yeah, I feel you on that. Anybody else experience time anxiety? Anyone else? Put it in the comments if you can relate to that. because mine's
it's some time components, but for some, everyone's got some sort of time something.
Yeah, because what's fascinating. So I want to give you a glimpse into the other side. For me, who like really struggles being on time. Some of our audience may have heard of the idea of time blindness. And I really struggle with that and the anxiety I get is, oh no, like I don't want to be late for this, but I feel like I am going to be late for this. All right, Noah says, I work 2 jobs and I don't know if I need de-stressors and get accommodations when I'm so stressed. Ryan, I've also been feeling the other things. I will send you a deep thought. Thank you, Noah. Send it over. I'm happy to be there for you. And the real Suzanne Thomas says, I always blamed my mom for that. She would force us to be everywhere incredibly early, but my husband makes us hours late and it drives me insane. Oh, wow. Okay.
Hey, Suzanne, she's one of my friends. I love her.
You know what? I'm so glad because she's been very engaging today. So thank you, Suzanne, for being here and for sticking with us. Like this is a marathon, but hey, you know what? I've kept myself moving and this is how we get it done. But yeah, my time anxiety is very much like, I know how much it upsets me to think of it's like RSD because it's the perceived disappointment or rejection. Like as I'm upstairs, like staying calm with Ethan, I'm simultaneously like freaking out on the inside because you're waiting for me. Now I know you're understanding and everything, but still it's like, I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
So that's
interesting, right? Because like as the person on the other side of the table, if somebody's running late, I'm like, listen, you're a human being. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like life happens. And when I am running late, I am 100% dysregulated.
Yes. Yes.
And I think for me, like I grew up in a household. It wasn't the late one. It was my stepmom. And I remember my father, like, just complaining. Like, even we would be just by ourselves. Like, that was his biggest complaint. She's always late, makes us late to everything. And so, like, I feel like that was my learning at a very young age is, like, you are never to be late.
Yeah, right.
Like, you cannot disappoint your parents and be late.
So, imagine my feeling knowing that and still struggling. So we've had to be very intentional around like how to handle that at our house. So Andrea and I wouldn't even say it's like accommodations, but we've had very open discussions where I'm like, accommodate my time blindness. It's not an accommodation, but I mean like to be aware and accept it and just be like, hey, I'm probably not going to remember like when this starts or when we have to leave. And so we usually go like each afternoon, we'll have like a little lunch conversation and like, okay, so let's talk over the plan for the evening. Cause it's like, I don't want to disappoint her and I don't want everyone to be all upset and stressed out. So we talk about it. And then like, if I need to, I'll set alarms and we'll do whatever we need to do to try to make it happen. So I just want to let everyone know if you're out there and you're listening and you struggle being on time or you get anxiety, if you're not really, really early, you're not alone. You're not alone. And you should check out the book, Time Anxiety by Chris Guillebeau.
Yeah. I live and die by my calendar. And so I have like, at this point I put in there, like, get in your car at this time.
Wow. See, now I had a really good discussion with my therapist it was probably a couple months ago now, which makes me feel bad because I'm still struggling with it, but it was still a really good insight. He asked me this question that it's like, it seems simple, but he said, what does being on time mean? And I'm like thinking, well, what do you mean? Like, you get there before the thing starts. And it's like, okay, but how early then? So, and it wasn't until that conversation, so I was 40 years old when I was the first time I ever realized that I am aiming for like the bullseye of the exact start time.
Ooh. So there's no margin of error there.
Exactly. So like if literally like anything goes wrong or takes longer, which it almost always does, I have not accounted for that. So it was like this mind-blowing realization moment, like, no wonder I always run late. Like I'm expecting that when I tell the children to like go get their shoes on, that they're gonna go, okay, dad, and like go over and put their shoes on, which is hardly ever the case. So
Tell me about it.
yeah. So it's like we need to just start thinking about all these different factors that go into it.
Yeah. Have you toyed with goblin tools at all?
No. And talk to me about it again, because I remember one of my clients told me about it, and I remember it being very intriguing, but I don't exactly remember what it is.
Yeah, it does a few things, but one of the things I use it for is you can put a task in there, and what it does, and you put your level of neurospiciness, because it's the chili pepper
nice.
Icon. You put your level of spiciness in there, and then it will break down the task to a level of detail that you want it to have.
Wow.
Yeah, so when it's like, okay, I need to leave the house for whatever, I've got this thing and I'm bringing my 2 kids and my spouse, like it will really break down the task for you and go like, if you want a micro level, like what are the things I need to get done? It will help point it out to you.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like a lot of it just because I don't go super spicy, because then having too many tasks for me is overwhelming.
But see, and this is great because everyone's different flavors. And
Yes.
for me, I appreciate having the smaller tasks because I get like a dopamine hit when I know I'm going to get to check something off. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So real Suzanne says, Ron and I are the same person. LOL. Haha. In the 8 years, my kids have never put their shoes on in a timely way. Yeah. See, so this is like, we're here learning
And I
every
bet
day.
you they still have Velcro and they still can't put them on time.
Yes.
I've got a 13-year-old who every morning he's got to leave the house at 7:10 to catch the bus.
Yep.
And I walk out the door. I walk out my office and I said, okay, it's 7:05.
Yes.
Did you get your shoes? Like, are you ready? I try not to micromanage. I'm like, all right, do you have everything you need to leave the house, so that they can start to think about what are the things they need to get done.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And so, and without fail, I come back out at 7:08. You have everything you need to leave the house. Yep. And then I come out at 7:10. He goes, I forgot to put my shoes on. And he's 13, so it doesn't go away.
Thank you for the heads up and the warning. This is actually, in case anyone's just joining, Coach Ryan's been folding laundry for 2 hours or so. It's fine. But we've been having Coach Ron Sosa and I have been having a great conversation covering a myriad of topics. But if you are interested in learning more about systems that you can create that are actually ADHD friendly and can get you moving even when your brain doesn't want to, let us know. I actually have a link I can send to anybody who's interested, but we're going to be having that tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not already part of the community, you can join and you can attend. And if you can't make it tomorrow at 1, if you sign up for one of the levels of the community, you can actually get access to all the recordings. So you can catch up on all the great ones we've had. I think this is going to be number 10 for the year or something. But yeah, I'm excited.
Nice. I think I might need to mark my own calendar for
that. Yeah, you should. And then you can text me tomorrow and say, hey, do you have everything you need to get into your office? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I try. I don't know. This is just the parenting thing. I'm trying not to have them depend on me and go like, do you have your shoes on? Do you have your backpack? Do you have like that's what I was doing. And I realized if I didn't do that, they would like be lost. And
Yes.
so I tried to like, let me take a step back and say, do you have everything you need to leave the house?
Yep.
And so it gets them to think.
That's I really like that. And someone who I met at last year's neurodivergent named Evelyn, she's a parent coach and had some great insights around that kind of stuff too. Like instead of saying, put this on, put that on, like, what else do you need to be ready to go to bed? What else do you need to be, so it's so good.
Yeah, my oldest son is very visual. I think a lot of us are, but he's very visual. And so he's got these checklists hanging up all over the house.
So do
to
we.
Remind him to brush his teeth, to remind him to get his pajamas on, because otherwise the kid will go to bed in his street clothes.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. Like, this is the sensory part of me. Like, I could never walk into my bed with like my street clothes on.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, here's a maybe you can suggest this to him, and maybe he doesn't want to do this at this age, but we have found rather than doing the morning battle of like, no, I don't want to wear that. No, that looks stupid. We have the kids, they've chosen to get dressed in their outfit the night before.
Okay.
So they sleep in tomorrow's clothes. So then they wake up and they're already dressed. So that's been, I would say, like a little bit of a hack that I think has helped us. So like, it's not my preferred, like, I don't want to have sleep stench on me.
This sounds so terrible. My kids are sweaty.
Yeah.
My kids are real sweaty.
Well, see, there you go. Like, that's why I know I couldn't do it, but
yeah.
And as they get older, it probably won't be a sustainable practice, but
right. Anyway. No, but I can totally see that working for a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's one thing that's kind of funny is I actually am kind of sad because they have so many cute pajamas. I'm like, don't you guys want to wear these jammies? And like everyone's like, no, I don't want to wear the jammies. I'm like, you guys are lame. But,
it's like so sad when they grow out of that.
Like I specifically remember a pair of like red orange Jurassic Park jammies, PJs that I had that I loved. And it was like always fun to put on pajamas. Like, are you a superhero? Are you a Pokemon? Like, what are you? You know? But
yeah,
whatever.
I was the kid, again, I told you I had a sock story.
Yes.
But I was the kid who would have the, like the full jammies with the little footies. And I would have to have my parents cut the footie out of it because I couldn't have the socks on.
Yes, you could. Yeah, you can have that.
In fact, as an adult, do not lock my feet into the covers. I had like a pure panic.
I was literally just going to bring that up. So this has been, a debate in the mayor bedroom ever since we got married, because I'm the same as you, Ron. Like, it's like suffocating in there. Like I don't want my feet to be trapped. I want them to be able to breathe. Well, that's a battle that I did not win. So that's okay though. I've come to appreciate it is what it is.
Okay. Alex and I have been together, it'll be 20 years this May.
Yeah.
And we decided to get the two twin beds next to each other that do the lifty things. So I have my own mattress and my own plush, and he's got his own firm, and we move it. And then I have like three different, like I've got an egg crate and a foam topper. And sort of like my mattress is a little bit higher than his.
Hey, how's it going down there?
It is the best thing we have done.
Wow. I love that.
It's like we've got one big shared comforter.
Yeah.
And I have my own blanket. He's got his own blanket. And so like I don't have any of those sensory issues that we used to, minorly argue about.
Yeah. So now is Alex a sheets tucked in at the bottom person?
Sheets tucked in at the bottom? What do you mean? Like the The top sheet.
Well, isn't that what you were saying? Like you wanted, like, don't tuck your feet in.
Oh yeah. Like even with a blanket, like I don't
Yeah.
like. Yeah, we actually don't use a top sheet at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, but yeah, I don't want the blanket to, come in and under my feet.
Yes.
I can't do
Right.
it.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. Okay. Cool. I love
It's
that.
like when you go to the hotel and they have it all tucked in, it's immediately like pulling it off.
I love that. I love that. Shoot, I was going to say something else when we were talking about that. Oh, I remember. So I think now that we know that we are not having any more kids. So Shane, who's 3, is our youngest and is, like the last baby of the family. And so I feel like Andrea and I have done a good job of really leaning into like embracing all the like cute little things. And so even when the kids will like sometimes come in the middle of the night or like in the wee hours of the morning and want to like get in bed with us. Before we just had it was like a hard no, like go back to bed. But now we're like, no, you know what? We want to embrace it to like savor it. So that's been a little highlight for me lately is like when they come in and they're like snuggling in. It's just real cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like if we had another at that point, I think I would be the same way. Like when you start to realize like you lose some of that,
yes,
that's when you crave it back again.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
So there's times where Shane will be very needy about like, hold me. And Andrea and I both agree that like, even though it's annoying, it's the last time this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So
what I'm hearing is you're upholding the youngest child syndrome.
Exactly. Precisely. I am 100% holding that stereotype, and I'm holding it tight. I'm actually snuggling it.
I don't blame you though.
Okay, friends, we've done it.
Look at that.
Okay, I want to celebrate myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 baskets of like, this is no joke. I don't
have the patience for that.
I once had someone on this live ask me, is that really all your laundry? Or are you like folding your neighbor's laundry or something? I'm like, no, it's definitely all ours. But made it.
Yeah. When you've got kids, they like to just put on extra outfits.
Well, I have to take ownership of couple things. Whenever I have coffee and my stimulant, I am like your kids. I'm a sweaty guy. So like I sweat through shirts. I will go through like 4 shirts in a workday. And it's like I'm not even doing anything. And I can't stand the sensory of like wet armpit.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Suzanne says I have 5 baskets to fold tomorrow. LOL, you've inspired me. Were they not clean? Well, you should have joined in. We could have raced.
Suzanne, every Tuesday, 8:45-ish.
Yeah, 8:45-ish p.m. Anyway, so I play basketball a couple times a week, so that requires multiple layers. That gets sweaty. Andrea works in healthcare, so she has a lot of scrubs, and I mean, you know that from being in the vet clinic. And then we have kids that don't ever want to rewear a pair of pants. So anyway.
And they dirty it immediately.
Yes. Well, I just want to say thanks, Coach Ron, for sticking with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Friends don't let friends fold alone. That's our motto here on Folding with Friends. And the real Suzanne Thomas, you're the real deal that you stuck with us too. Thank you for that. What a great conversation. So we'll be posting this so that others can enjoy the greatness later on. That's it. Next time I know. Exactly. No problem. You're always welcome. Um, any final words from you, Coach Ron?
Any final words? I'm going to just say it for you.